Hello! Part 52! Let's play Dragon Force! I am, as I was last time and the time before that, and I will be next time, MarauderEX! Bringing you more of this Dragon Forcey goodness. Still trying my damnedest to conquer the world. One castle at a time. And I'm being attacked again from the remnants of the Topaz Kingdom. Though they're not going to make it, because it's almost time for domestic affairs. There we go. And domestic affairs, as always, is kind of long. So yeah. Typically use my domestic affairs for rants and raves. I really don't have much to rant or rave about. I've already talked about E3 and the upcoming games and all of that. And my general overall surprise at the quality of the games that are coming out. I really think the Wii is going to do a lot better this year than it did last year. I think it's going to get back to its place where it was its first year of the console that everyone had to have, and at least I'm hoping. One thing that I will rant about is the Xbox. One of the first games I got for the Xbox when I purchased one, I didn't purchase one early on. I didn't like the Red Ring of Death, and I wasn't going to spend money on a system that I couldn't trust to not crap out on me. And then a friend of mine told me, my friend who works for the evil that is GameStop, told me that if I got one after a certain date, that the likelihood of the Red Ring would drop. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, if you say it, then I'll put some stock in it, and I'll go ahead and get one. One of the first games I got was the Orange Box, because I love some Portal and some Team Fortress 2. Half-Life just really generally pisses me off. I wasn't a fan of it on the PC. I'm not a fan of it on the console. But Team Fortress 2, one of my favorite games of all time, does not get any of the upgrades that the PC players get. Any of the additions and class revamps or any of that. We don't get that on the 360. And my question is, what the hell? I've been sitting here reading the developers blog, going, okay, you know, this is going to be cool. They're just getting ready to update Sniper with, or they may have already updated Sniper, but they're getting a bow and arrow that can peg people to walls. That's awesome as shit, and I don't get it. Not going to get it on the 360. And my question is, why? I mean, to my knowledge, the 360 is a very light Windows computer. Honestly, that's all it is. It runs off of a Windows base, like the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast's operating system was Windows base. That was their first big attempt at it. So we know the Xbox has some sort of Windows-based operating system, but it doesn't do anything else. Like, we can't do it for a general computer for word processing or anything like that. But we know it's a product of Microsoft. So when they develop a game for Windows, it should be easily ported to the 360, and vice versa. Why the hell don't we get the upgrades? Just make them free downloadable content. And I think that's the key point. They don't want free downloadable content for games. They don't want game add-ons. Because then when you've got to pay for game add-ons, people get upset. Well, Team Fortress gets it for free, how come we don't? Well, Team Fortress gets it for free on the PC, but we don't get jack. So, I mean, you're gonna alienate some bit of your fan base at some point. I mean, if it's a third-party game, then yes, they're well within the right to charge. They're well within the right to charge for a first person. But or for a first party. But if you give it to one group of people for free, you can't make someone else pay for it. So the fact that they're giving it to the PC users and they're not giving it to the 360 users is worse than anything else they could do. because they're alienating one entire section of the fan base. And I know the 360 version is not the same. It doesn't have the same servers. You can't cross-play. And this is even more of a reason why, because if I was a 360 user playing against a PC user, I'd be at a massive disadvantage. I wouldn't be able to just stand on my own 2 feet against them, because they'd have a sniper that'd peg me against a wall, and the spy upgrade would just come in and just smack me around for a good 20 minutes. I mean, if you develop a game and make content for it, you've got to make that content available to everyone in the same fashion. If you make them pay for it one way, you've got to make them pay for it another way. It's like Fallout 3. If you had Fallout 3 and made the downloadable content for the Vault, or not the Vault, whatever the latest expansion is on it that they just did, make that free, but everything else you've got to pay for. Okay, that's a little weird. But then you say that PC users get everything for free. What the hell, man? Really? At this point, I'm rambling, and I've lost where I'm going with it. So, I mean, you all get the general gist of it. It's aggravating, is what it is. So yes, as you can see, I've gone through a decent deal of domestic affairs. Every so often, I'm going to just sit there and talk to all of my generals again, just to make sure that they're doing well. Like I said, at this point, the domestic affairs are getting to the point to where it's long enough to where it's going to be a movie unto itself. So I'm going to try and make them a little more entertaining. Hopefully my rants are well enough to get by with that. If not, I'm sorry. I apologize. I find my rants to be kind of entertaining sometimes. They're better if I'm, you know, aggravated about something, because then you get that, you know, animated rant, which is always more entertaining. It's like Lewis Black talking about something very, very tweaked. Alright, with that, I'll go ahead and cut the video here, because there's really not too much else to do other than look at the dark section of the world that I've taken over. So I will see you guys in part 53. Later.